Um, so I wanted to make this video as a reminder to myself to calm down because the moment that I've woken up this morning, it feels like everything is frantic. Listen to that classical music. I put the classical music channel on the radio so that I can have some peace because all of the radios can be really frantic. The, the sounds can make me anxious. Like, because the music will be fast paced and crap. Listen to that. It's like Flight of the Bumblebee. When I want something quiet and soothing, I turn it to the classical music channel, but it's the fucking Flight of the Bumblebee. It just feels like the moment that I've woken up from this morning, the cats kept wanting out. There's fucking mess on my floor. Everything was loud. I'm on my period and I don't like it. I really don't. And it's 1 in the afternoon already. Well, it's nearly about to be 1 in the afternoon already. And I feel like I just woke up. I don't know what time I woke up at. It was late. But I feel like I just woke up and I haven't gotten even half of the things that I usually do when I first wake up done. Barely got my skincare done, and I have to do yoga and set up a site to meet people on, an escort site, because I guess I'm a prostitute now. Make videos and paint and stuff. And my heart is going a million miles per hour. I don't like it. I want to sit here. Things have been going better, honestly. Soon as I left, I've been allowed to cook again in my kitchen. Well, in the kitchen at home. I guess it's not really mine. Kind of a guest in this house. And I've finally gotten over the shame of the fact that I still live with my parents. Because even though I'm only 20, I will be 21 soon. I had a look at the house prices and rent prices of everywhere. What in the fuck is going on? Like, what is actually happening? In any case, I still intend on getting out, but things have been better, and I've stopped looking at myself like I'm failing somehow because I need to live in this house. And things have gotten better in the house for me, so that's a good sign. You know, sign that maybe if I continue to stay here, there won't be as many problems as there were before. Yesterday was my first session with my free counselor, and she actually gave me some anti-anxiety exercises that actually really helped. So that's a plus. No, I feel like things are picking up for me, and I don't know how or why I feel that way, but I do. Oh, and the pictures of Eugenia Cooney that I've added to my vlogs, I've basically done that because the way that she's posing in some of these photos, especially when she's really little, reminds me of the way I was posed when I was a kid in photos. And it just suddenly hit me. I wonder if perhaps little girls who are raised by abusive parents tend to be more dressed up into strike poses for family photographs and things like that. As you know, if your parent, I guess, sees you as property or a possession as opposed to an actual person, and you're a girl, well, born a girl, I suppose it's more likely that they'll dress you up, you know? I don't know why I feel like there's a lot of I don't know whys. I just think there's a link there because looking at those photos make me feel creepy. Made me feel creepy because there's something off about them. There's something off about them, okay? And I've seen photos like that before of myself and of other people who I assume were abused as children. And I actually want to be able to find, to see if there's a link there when, I guess, when I'm older. Well, when I go to college and I get a degree in psychology, I don't know what branch of psychology I would have to go into to start researching stuff like that. But um, I don't know. I want to see if there's a link. 'Cause I think there is, because like I think there's higher rates of abuse in households where there's an emphasis on traditional gender norms. And I think the most telling thing about that, and I should mention that I listen to Fundy Fridays, and I look at a lot of like fundamentalist Christian uh, content for study purposes. Plus, it is just a mess. There's so much tea. Oh, the drama, the drama, the drama. But yeah, cannot one calming song be played on the classical music channel? Anyways, no, I think the most telling thing about the way they behave and the way that they treat little girls and shit is that like they post a lot of content sometimes where they'll like they post content like they'll go into a store and they'll look at little girls' clothes and little boys' clothes and they'll be outraged that the little boys' clothes has colors in it and flowers and stuff because we don't live in the fucking medieval era anymore. Um, and the little girls' clothes might have hoodies or jeans. They'll be outraged over this. I've noticed that the reasons that they seem to be outraged is because they perceive that dressing little girls up like boys is removing them from their natural purpose in life. You know, it's taking away their God-given right to be feminine and be a woman, i.e., a little baby machine. You know, and is in translation, in translation, it's gonna make them think that it's gonna take it's gonna I can't think. It's fucking music. I can't function without noise in the background, but everything I put on is making me anxious because there is not one calming thing I can find. Not on the radio, not on the internet. But I don't want to just like put on calming, relaxing yoga music in the background because I find that boring. It must be interesting, but boring at the same time. Oh, thank God it's changing. Anyways, I seem to be annoyed uh at the blurring of gender lines because it's going to make little girls think that they're little boys, and that's something that they're not really that outraged by. They're far more outraged by little boys wearing girly clothes. And the reason for this is because, and this, I feel like this is so telling, they think that if you stick girls' clothes on little boys, you're grooming them, but specifically grooming them in a sexual manner. And it's fascinating because I think that there are actually probably a great deal of pedophile organizations that probably do sexualize little boys by dressing them in girls' clothes. And the reason for this is not because there's anything sexual about little girls' clothes, but there is something underlyingly insidious about the way that we market products like clothes towards little girls. Trigger words like sweet, girly, like feminine, like basically obedient. And, hmm, And I feel this way because looking back at my own childhood, I feel incredibly creeped out by the way toys and clothes and stuff were marketed towards me. I don't think that, like, there's anything inherently insidious about sparkly, feminine, or cute clothes. I just think that there is something insidious about the way the world sees little girls, sees the woman's role in general, and basically it's like messages and shit that they're encoding in clothes. It's funny that so I think like they feel guilty. I feel like somewhere deep down within them, some of these fundamentalist Christians feel somewhat guilty or uneasy at the way that they treat little girls. So that's why they're in such outrage when they see little boys wearing feminine clothes, or at the very least wearing gender neutral clothes. Because we've decided as a collective society that we do not give a shit anymore, and a child should be able to wear whatever the fuck it wants if it makes the child happy. You know? But I think that they get so outraged about this because they know that it's wrong. They know that the way that they treat women in their circles is wrong. And if they had to examine why they feel so outraged that their little boys uh, might be dressing in feminine clothes or acting femininely, they would have to examine all of the creepy ways that they treat little girls in their organizations. You know? They have to examine all of the underlying marketing, all of the ways that they've been programmed by themselves and the media to believe that little girls are just these sweet, obedient things, you know? And the symbol of that sweetness is something like a frilly skirt, you know? The symbols for that sweetness, symbols for that obedience. So when they see little boys and stuff like that, it jars them, you know? And that's why whenever they complain about little girls wearing boys' clothes, they say stuff like, well, it's going to make them think that they're little boys, and then the little girls won't know their place. But they don't say that, but they kind of do, you know? Like, I've only seen one post of someone critiquing little girls wearing boyish clothes, and it was basically verbatim. They're trying to make little girls into little boys, removing them from their natural purpose in life, to be little baby making machines for the Lord. Because that's not in any way creepy. It's not in any way creepy to look at a little girl and think she's gonna have a lot of babies when she's older. Lots of babies. That shit wouldn't fly if that was a man. At least I don't think so. And those are my thoughts for today. Bye!